Voilà, c'est bon. Bonsoir à tous. Ben là, on va continuer en Ice Somnium Files. Bon, pour faire un résumé de l'épisode précédent, on avait fait le Somnium de Mizuki. On a découvert qu'en fait, le tueur, c'était peut-être un tueur en série, vu qu'on a eu, on a vu un nouveau cadavre mort des mêmes façons. Mais bon, je pense que vous savez de qui je parle. Et là, maintenant, on va reprendre où je me suis arrêtée, après le passage chez les Yakuza. Et on va voir ce qui va se passer maintenant dans cet épisode. Aussi, les VOD sont disponibles, enfin la première VOD est disponible sur YouTube et la seconde sera probablement postée d'ici jeudi et la suite sera pour jeudi aussi. Du coup, maintenant on va commencer et comme d'habitude j'ai mon carnet que j'utilise pour les enquêtes, enfin où je prends des notes on va dire, et mon petit compagnon de mission, Amund. Comme Dateki à Aiba, Amund m'accompagne. Allez. On va lancer le jeu en espérant juste qu'on n'ait pas de problème parce que bon, hier j'ai eu des problèmes à cause du cloud, donc on lance un jeu, donc espérons que ça sera mieux ce soir. Ah, coucou Fobo, comment ça va? Bah t'arrives au bon moment, là j'allais commencer le jeu. Ah, on est déjà à 4 heures. Au moins 4 heures de jeu. Ok. Bah installe-toi confortablement. Eh bien, profite bien du popcorn. Voilà, là on avait fini le passage chez les Yakuza. Maintenant on retourne à les mini-skates. Ah, coucou Alexis. Comment ça va?
This is all really suspicious.
Ben tant mieux.
What is?
Ah, coucou Daphné. Comment ça va? Je le rappelle souvent, mais c'est toujours bien de savoir comment vont ses viewers.
Congressman Tsujima and the Kumakuras. There's definitely something going on there.
I agree. But I am not sure it is linked to the new Cyclops serial killings.
Ben ça va, écoute. Ben j'avoue, j'avais hâte parce que j'aime beaucoup le jeu, ben j'aimais en même temps beaucoup partager ma découverte, alors j'avais vraiment hâte d'être là ce soir.
We need to do further investigation.
Ah, Eva qui a pris sa forme des somniums.
Hey, you. You can't just break into someone's car like that. Wait. Your body is transparent.
Il a pas compris que c'était Eva.
What the? Impossible. How did a jellyfish get in here?
Après la crevette, la méduse. Ça va être quoi la prochaine fois?
So shiny too.
You utter idiot. It's me.
Renju?
Do I look like Renju?
Mizuki?
Il le fait exprès ou quoi?
It's me.
Boss?
Date, seriously.
Then, are you... Mom?
Attends, il fait exprès ou il est con là?
You must have increased your dosage too much.
A dosage? Anyway, you're Iba, right?
Et voilà.
Why are you here? Looking like that?
I just thought I would protect myself. You seem lonely.
How are you doing this?
I am overlaying the image your left eye processes with augmented reality. You can't see me through your right eye, only your left.
On n'arrête pas le progrès.
You can't just pop into my eyeball without permission.
You do realize I do that all the time, right?
Come to think of it, you look kind of like you do when you're in Somnium. What's that about?
What do you mean?
You don't usually look like that. You have a Somnium form and another form.
Oh, this?
Yes, that. Why are you doing this now?
En fait, quand on monte à Aiba, elle a deux
I was
formes.
bored last night, so
Bah, elle a sa forme dans les Somnia et sa forme dans l'œil en fait. Je sais pas comment la décrire, donc on va dire la forme monokunœil. Ceux qui étaient présents au premier live savent d'où vient le nom.
Huh?
I thought you would
Enfin,
like it.
si des gens ont d'autres idées de surnom pour la forme d'Aiba, mais on reste sur le monokunœil pour le moment.
Why would I like it?
Well, I did attempt to shape myself to your preference.
If you could do that, change it.
I will not,
Why not?
Ouais, elle s'est habituée à cette apparence.
because I won't. I looked into that. Unfortunately, I did not find anything in our database that could connect the two.
I see.
However, I did discover some rumors on the internet. Most of them come across as gossip or conspiracy theories. But would you like to hear them regardless?
Please.
Mr. Sajima currently resides in Azabu. He lives in a mansion, a restored samurai castle.
Ok.
But 20 years ago, So Sajima lived elsewhere. In the Kawasaki district, to be exact. He lived there until he was 40 years old. The Sajima family owned a vast amount of real estate in the district.
Kawasaki, si je me trompe pas, c'est là où il y avait Blum Park, donc là où il y a eu, on a trouvé le corps de la mère de Mizuki.
Adjusting for inflation, the land was valued above 30 billion yen. The Sajima family sold off its holdings. 6 months later, the incident occurred.
The explosion at the chemical plant.
This caused Kawasaki to become a
Voilà,
restricted
c'est bien ce que je
area.
disais.
And of course, land prices fell drastically to less than 1/30th their original value. What are your thoughts?
Alors, en fait, il faudrait que je pense quand même à régler la webcam un
Timing
peu
is
parce
certainly
que
suspicious.
la première par moi on voit pas bien ma tête. Mais bon là ça devrait aller.
To sell that amount of land just 6 months before it happened.
There is another interesting fact. After the accident, So Sajima purchased all of the land back for just 1 billion yen.
So he's got 29 billion yen in his pocket and 1 billion yen of land.
30 milliards de yens au total.
Correct. Despite the horrific accident, the Sajima family is no worse off.
True. But I don't see the point of it. It's not like you got anything out of it.
That would be true, but there is more to this story. There is another important fact. After the land prices in the Kawasaki region crashed,
Ah,
we will have to continue this conversation later. I am receiving a call from headquarters.
Is this Special Agent Date from Abyss? My name is Akaska from HQ. I'm investigating the Shoko Nadami case. There's something that you need to hear.
What is it?
We got a phone call earlier from a prisoner at Fuchu Prison.
A prisoner?
We saved the call. I think you should give it a listen. Who is this?
In here, I'm known as number 89.
What is this call concerning?
I know who killed Shoko Nadami. And if you let me out of here, I will tell you who it is. I suppose you might say I'm looking for a plea bargain. He will kill again, you know. And he'll take their eye while they're still alive. There will be more want to stop this serial killer, I suggest you take my offer. I'll be seeing you.
This has to be a prank.
That's what I thought too. However, we got the call yesterday afternoon, before Renju was killed. In other words...
You're saying he predicted the second crime?
Yeah, I think he did. That's why I thought I should contact you.
Good idea.
Good luck.
Do you think there's anything to this?
I don't know.
Un peu du même avis que daté. On n'en sait rien donc. Vaut mieux peut-être être un peu méfiant. Peut-être qu'il a raison ou peut-être que pas du tout. Enfin, il faudra voir. Mais pour le moment, il faut qu'on ait Levinsky, puis que je me rappelle. Bon, tant pis, j'ai essayé de me rappeler un peu. Ah oui, c'est vraiment. On avait dit qu'Iris devrait être dispo maintenant. Enfin, Iris ou Ota, je sais plus. Enfin, j'ai un peu oublié comment c'était la dernière fois.
What's wrong? You look like you have a lot on your mind.
Yeah, I just found out online. The corpse at Bloom Park. That was Renju's ex-wife, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So that was Mizuki's mom. Mizuki saw her own mom. And I just left her. But I didn't know. I knew her as Shoko Nadami. Her last name is different. I didn't know that was Mizuki's mother. I want to apologize to her. I need to tell her that I'm sorry.
Bon, on va parler avec Ota avant.
Nowhere. Just doing my normal routine.
I don't know your normal routine.
I went to a doujin store to look at the new releases. And I ate some ramen at Jiro's, and then headed over to the PC cafe to browse threads. You know, normal.
If that's normal, I haven't had a normal day in my life.
Bah, une journée normale pour. Une journée normale face au Ota, j'ai envie de dire chacun sa propre façon de ses journées.
Mizuki didn't seem like she was angry with you.
What? You met Mizuki? Oh, at the interrogation.
That's right. He doesn't know I live with Mizuki. I have no reason to hide it, but it's sort of hard to explain. Yeah, I spoke to Mizuki at her, questioning earlier.
You're sick, Date.
What?
Questioning? That sounds dirty. If I were writing a light novel, that's exactly how I would describe a sexy scene.
Ah, donc il fallait le soir à dater, mais lui, enfin.
What kind of novels are you writing, kid?
On se pose la question parce que le gars il dit à dater, il met un reproche à dater alors que lui on pourrait lui reprocher la même chose enfin. Bon après il y en a pas un mieux que l'autre en termes de perversion j'ai envie de dire pour le moment.
I've only seen Renju a couple of times.
I didn't think it was possible to be this bad at lying.
Though it is plainly obvious, I did a thermal check on Ota's body. This is his current body temperature.
That's what I thought. Have you forgotten, Ota? You're my thrall. You don't want me to tell Iris your secret, do you?
Huh?
Wait, it's no big deal, I just...
Non il y a l'autre là.
You better start talking.
Okay. Last night, I was walking over to Sunfish Pocket, and I saw Renju come out of the building.
Was he alone? Someone was with him. A man. No. A woman. Okay, look. I can tell you're trying to protect her, but you have to help me out here. Was it Iris?
No, it definitely for sure wasn't Tessa.
Got it. So Renju was with Iris.
Okay, fine. There's no point in hiding it, I guess. You're right. Renju came out of the building with Tessa. But Tessa has nothing to do with this. She wouldn't murder anyone. She wouldn't hurt a fly. She's an idol. Idols don't kill people.
You need to stop putting her on a pedestal.
Non, il a pas tort d'être sur ce
Tessa
coup.
is a savior to me. The Tessa I know wouldn't hurt anyone. The first time I met her, I had a bad case of writer's block. And I saw all this awful negativity online, and I lost sight of what I really wanted to write. And it was the lowest point of my life.
He is talking like a professional, though he hasn't published anything.
Yeah.
Then, by pure chance, I found a video of Tessa singing and dancing, and it made me realize something important. You don't have to care what people think, you know? If you do your best at what you believe in, your message will get through to people. That attitude is something all great creators need to have. After that, I became a huge A-Set fan and got over my writer's block.
Moi, j'avais pas vu en fait assez de c'était ça en fait dans enfin comment on dit encore quand c'est dans l'autre sens. J'avais pas fait attention à ça la première fois.
And I know I'm not the only one Tessa has inspired. A lot of otaku like me say that Tessa is their savior. She cheers them up when they're down. So there's no way Tessa can be involved in murder. Absolutely impossible. But do you suspect her?
Là, coucou Flofocera, et c'est noté d'accord, anagramme, j'avais oublié et merci. Sinon, comment ça va?
I need to hear her side of the story. If I do, I might find out she's totally innocent. If you truly believe that she didn't do it, you should tell me everything you know.
But
Do it for Iris.
around 6:15, I guess.
Ben ça va aussi, écoute, ben j'avoue que je m'amuse bien sur le jeu et j'avoue j'avais vraiment hâte de le relancer parce que j'aime beaucoup et j'aime bien le partager en même temps parce que par exemple je vous sors une petite anecdote, ma mère elle a vu le jeu, en fait elle m'a vu dessus et elle a dit qu'elle le trouve et ça l'intéressait en fait. Je sais pas si elle va se lancer ou si elle va se contenter de regarder mes lives. Mais je peux dire que certaines personnes qui ont vu un peu mes lives sur le jeu, bah, qui me connaissent, ils sont tentés d'essayer. Et si jamais il y en a qui se lancent, je vous dirai. D'ailleurs, j'ai posté la première VOD sur YouTube et j'ai mis le lien vers la trad en même temps. Ouais, parce que comme cela, si des gens voient les rediffs, ils pourront en même temps voir le lien pour le patch et l'installer. Ben, en plus, je pense qu'elle pourrait aimer parce qu'elle adore tout ce qui est enquête. J'essaie aussi de convertir des gens que je connais qui aiment les jeux d'enquête parce que je pense qu'ils pourraient aimer le jeu.
Where did they go?
I didn't see. He got into Renju's car and drove off.
What did you do?
I went inside Sunfish Pocket, but I saw a sign that said the entire club was reserved. I figured I would just go home.
Oh.
What happened?
Date.
Iris, there's something I need to ask you. Come with me.
Voilà le QG de la police.
Iris, I'm going to ask you some questions. Please answer honestly. However, you do not have to say anything that might incriminate you.
The right to remain silent? You're treating me like a criminal.
Not exactly. I'm just looking for the truth. And I would appreciate your cooperation. Here's what Ota told me. Yesterday around 6:15 p.m., you and Renju came out of the Sunfish Pocket building. Is that true?
Yes? Mr. Okura called me and told me he wanted me to come to Sunfish Pocket. 8
Around what time was that?
5 p.m., I think. I got ready, then headed over there. I guess I got there about an hour later.
Date, I checked her call history. At 4:58 p.m., there is a record of a call to Iris from Renju's phone.
What were you doing with Renju?
He asked me about a job.
What kind of job?
He rented out Sunfish Pocket for a party and he wanted me to MC. He said that it was an important party and that a lot of big shots were gonna be there, but the girl he asked to do it originally got sick and couldn't come. But I turned him down.
Why?
Because I'm just an internet idol. I've never done any MCing before, especially with important people being there.
What did you do after you turned him down?
I left with Mr. Okura at 6:15 p.m. That must have been when Ota saw me.
And after that?
I asked Mr. Okura to take me home in his car. I got home at 7 p.m. I was home the rest of the night.
What do you think, Aiba?
I cannot detect any contradictions. However, her story appears almost too organized. Human memory is ambiguous. Her use of exact times leads me to be suspicious.
That's true. I heard you used to work at Sunfish Pocket.
That's right.
How long?
A little over a year.
Working there that long, you're probably pretty familiar with the equipment.
Yeah, I guess.
What about the surveillance camera? Do you know where those tapes were stored?
What are you trying to say?
When did you find out Renju was killed?
This morning, on the news.
And you were with Renju last night? You didn't think to call the police and inform them of this?
Oh, sorry. Is that something you're supposed to do? I had a podcast to record this morning, so if I went to the police, I'd be late. And that would cause everyone a lot of trouble, you know?
What were you doing from 7 to 9 last night?
I was at home the whole time.
Il va falloir que je pense à régler cette webcam.
You're sure?
Yes.
Aiba, thermograph.
There is no noticeable rise in Iris's body temperature.
She isn't lying.
Not necessarily. We must consider the possibility that she is a natural liar.
With that kind of confidence, her temperature wouldn't change.
Correct.
Renju's estimated time of death was 8 p.m. last night. If Iris' story is true, she couldn't have done it.
There is another possibility. Even if Iris was at home, she could have killed Renju.
You mean... I'll ask again. You are sure you were at home around 8 p.m. yesterday?
Yes.
Can I ask your mother about your alibi?
You can, but there'd be no point.
Why is that?
My mom wasn't home. She came back home early this morning.
This morning?
Yeah.
Where was she?
I don't know.
You don't know. Come to think of it, Iris' mom had connections to Renju too.
Hitomi did mention that yesterday.
Renju was my classmate at Eitoku High. We've known each other for 20 years now.
However, we have nothing to link her to the case.
But I am curious. What was Hitomi doing last night?
C'est vrai que là, il a pas tort. Tort, il faudra aussi vérifier, il faut vérifier les alibis et tout ça, mais bon.
Am I a suspect?
It's not like that.
It's fine, Date. It's true that I met with Mr. Okiura yesterday, but how do I put this? It's impossible that I'm the killer.
Why?
I'm a teenage girl. Mr. Okiura is a fully grown man.
Oh, she's got a point.
Ouais, là, elle a pas tort.
A girl like her could have stabbed, poisoned, or shot him dead, but strangling?
No, it's still possible. You see.
C'est ce qu'on peut lire minute.
The The autopsy discovered a high concentration.
Ah,
This
super, on
drug
peut
is
voir les
commonly
preuves.
used as a sedative. It is likely that Renju was in a...
A heavy concentration of sedatives were discovered in Renju's body. Renju was practically in a coma before he died. He wouldn't have struggled.
So, Iris could have strangled him.
Wait a minute. Even if I was somehow able to kill him, the rest of it is impossible.
The rest of it?
Like hanging up his body?
How do you know that?
What do you mean? It's all over the news.
That's true. Renju weighed about 160 pounds. Even if she used her entire body weight, I don't think she could have hauled him up.
Mais il faudra voir combien elle pèse.
Right. It
Mais
would
bon.
be hard for her to do it with her strength alone.
Ouais. Sur ce point, c'est pas faux.
But with a little ingenuity, it could be done.
D'abord se regarder. Je voudrais quand même vérifier voir un truc avant. Donc j'ai pas encore lu les Sympazix. Et s'il y a tout le moyen de voir. Non, il n'y a pas le poids et tout ça, ça aurait peut-être... Enfin, c'est parce que j'aurais bien aimé voir, en fait, parce que... On se souvient que, parce que dans Danganronpa, dans les monopads, t'avais toutes les infos, en fait.
Ingenuity.
The oil drum inside Sunfish Pot, the type that has a lid you can open. With empty, it weighs approximately 44 pounds.
Une minute.
I don't think so. This
Ah,
is
non.
irrelevant to the question.
Ah ouais, c'est pas faux. Parce que les barils... Voyons voir, réfléchissons.
Renju's estimated TOD is yesterday, around. Numerous hemorrhages in the blood vessels of the throat and face indicate strangulation. The weapon used to commit the murder was the criminal likely wrapped it around Renju's neck and pulled. Renju then suffocated. The more precise cause of death is cerebral circulation failure due to... In short, Renju was
Regardez
The
toutes les preuves
autopsy
avant.
determined that Renju vacated his bowels for muscle relaxation upon death. However, no trace of this was found on the corpse or at the scene. This means that it is highly likely Renju was killed elsewhere and moved to where he was found. Renju's corpse was discovered at the maid cafe Sunfish Pocket, hanging from a beam on the ceiling by a wire. He was found over the counter. The wire was attached on both ends. One end was attached to a hook that was embedded inside Renju's jaw. The other end was attached to beer kegs found on the floor. The kegs hold approximately 20 liters of liquid. They weigh approximately 55 pounds each.
Dans 2 kilos. Ouais, ça me fait on a déjà vu.
Sunfish Pocket is located on the second floor. According to the records, from 6:30 p.m. until the body was found, the elevator stopped on the second floor only once, at 8:55 p.m. The total weight detected in the elevator was approximately 310 pounds.
It went like this. First, Renju was laid out on the counter. Next, the wire was thrown over the beam and connected to the hook in his jaw. Then all you need to do is put the 3 beer kegs on the counter.
You think a teenage girl could have done that?
I'm sure it was hard. The kegs weighed 55 pounds each. That's not impossible, even for a teenage girl.
I guess it isn't impossible.
After that, you get on top of the counter, hook the other end of the wires to the kegs, and then, what do you think happens if you kick the kegs off the counter?
The 3 kegs weighed 165 pounds altogether. Renju weighs 5 pounds less. I guess that would make it possible. But there is one more thing.
What?
Considering the state of the crime scene, it's clear Renju was killed elsewhere and brought to where we found him. If Iris is the culprit, how did she move the body?
Hey!
I know. You're going to say you couldn't have moved a 160-pound body.
Unfortunately for her, she could have.
How?
Je réfléchis parce que... Bon, ouais, je réfléchis parce qu'on sait, il y avait un truc de 140. L'ascenseur faisait 140 kilos. Une minute. J'avais pris des notes sur les possibilités de... J'avais calculé en fait. En faisant le calcul avec les barils et le corps, ça revient toujours à 65, dans les 60 kilos. Je crois que je suis pas sûre de la preuve à montrer. Pour moi, c'est les données de l'ascenseur ou le baril. Non. Ah non, c'est pas l'ascenseur.
You have to prove that Iris could have moved. That is your current task. This will not help you.
Non. Ah non, je me suis trompée. Je vais regarder et on voit.
I know this watch. It's Renju's favorite. I found it inside an oil drum at Sunfish Pad Me.
Non, là faut que je prenne le temps de réfléchir pour utiliser le baril, pour déplacer le corps, mais ensuite... Ouais, je réfléchis, on va dire. Réfléchissons. Maintenant, pour moi, il suffirait de mettre le corps dans le baril pour le transporter, mais c'est pas à l'ascenseur vu que... Enfin, l'ascenseur a pouvoir le porter. Mais il faut que je trouve quelle est la preuve qui peut aller avec. Ah, je me suis trompée, j'essaie de comprendre un peu comment marche le système. Bon, faut vraiment que je réfléchisse là parce que avant que je dise n'importe quoi, parce que là je suis un peu... Voyons voir. Ah voilà. Comme quoi, c'est parfois la preuve à laquelle on s'attend pas qui peut aider.
Do you know what this is?
Comme quoi, faut pas sous-estimer les preuves qui apparaissent les plus étranges.
It's Renju's favorite watch. This was discovered inside an empty oil drum at Sunfish Pocket.
Hey, Date, I know you're on a roll right now, but could you please report things like that according to protocol?
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that it wouldn't be so hard to move a body if it were in a cylinder. You would just have to roll it.
So you're saying Renju's body was moved inside the drum, which is how the watch came off. But the suspect didn't notice it.
I'm not saying anything for sure. Just pointing out that it's possible.
Ouais, c'est une possibilité. Il faut voir toutes les possibilités. C'est dans une enquête pour trouver, corroborer les preuves. Mais là, elle a pas tort.
You could have put it in a car and driven it.
I don't have a license.
En effet, parce que si elle a pas le permis, elle pourrait pas déplacer dans une voiture.
Doesn't mean you can't drive. Even an AI can drive nowadays.
Are you mocking me?
J'adore Aiba. Tu te moques de moi?
Don't make sudden outbursts like that.
You insulted me.
Just be quiet.
Les interactions d'Aiba, elles sont géniales.
Who are you?
J'adore vraiment ces pics entre ces deux-là. Mais en fait, c'est sympa parce qu'à chaque fois, je découvre un nouveau élément de gameplay parce que j'avoue, la partie avec les indices, je m'y attendais pas, mais c'est sympa en fait. Il y a un peu de tout dans ce jeu, j'ai envie de dire. À chaque fois que tu penses découvrir un truc, tu découvres encore plus.
Anyway, Iris, you weigh about 105 pounds, right?
Where is this coming from?
If only you weighed more. Or less.
That is none of your business.
No, I mean that your weight is relevant to the case.
Là, il a pas tort. Je vais quand même faire un petit calcul en fait. Là, on va prendre une nouvelle page. Parce que bon, c'est toujours bien d'essayer de voir. Voyons voir. Alors, on sait qu'elle pèse 48 kg et que Renju en pesait 72. Moi, je le dis à la belge parce qu'en Belgique, on dit 72. On dit 72 au lieu de 72, donc soyez pas surpris si je dis à la belge. Ah ça, en tout cas, je peux le dire parce que chaque fois que je relance, chaque fois que que je tourne, enfin que je découvre le jeu, ben j'en découvre encore parce que j'avoue les QTE je m'y attendais pas, les phases d'indices aussi, mais ce jeu il arrête pas de me surprendre. Voilà, j'ai fait le calcul. Ça fait 120 kg, les données de l'ascenseur indiquaient 140.
If the oil drum was used to transport the corpse, then the possibility of the suspect being around 105
Bon après moi les
pounds
maths
is
c'est pas un
extremely
truc dans
likely.
lequel je suis douée quoi.
Why do you say that?
Iris, on which floor is Sunfish Pocket located?
Ah ça je suis d'accord parce que vraiment il est super ce jeu au niveau gameplay parce que il y a vraiment un mélange des genres qui est bien utilisé parce que c'est un visual novel, mais il y a tellement de trucs qui sont bien utilisés je trouve.
On the second floor.
That's right. So, I checked the elevator records. Before the corpse was discovered, the elevator only stopped at the second floor once.
D'ailleurs si on fait attention dans le miroir on peut voir date et bouger, c'est comme un policier qui fait l'interrogatoire.
And we discovered that the total cargo weight on the elevator was about 310 pounds. Renju weighed 160. The oil drum weighs 44.
Si on ajoute le poids du baril, ça fait 140.
Together, that's about 205.
Et si on ajoute le poids d'Iris, ça fait 140.
Subtracting that from 310.
This doesn't look good.
Why are you?
Now this obviously doesn't prove you're the murderer. A lot of people weigh 105 pounds.
Ouais.
Or someone could have put 105 extra pounds in the elevator, sent it up, and taken the stairs. To throw us off the trail.
Ça aussi parce que dans un sens, si on réfléchit, l'assassin aurait pu mettre les barils et utiliser les escaliers parce qu'un étage en escalier, je crois pas que c'est fatigant parce que moi j'habite dans un appart et je peux dire que même si j'habite au moins 10e étage de mon appart actuellement, je peux dire que faire un étage à pied, c'est pas fatigant.
However,
mais bon, il faut pas éliminer toutes les possibilités possibles.
Date, stop. Iris is acting strange. Don't turn around.
why not?
Just stay put. Keep your eyes on the wall.
Ouais, en fait, moi j'aimais toutes les possibilités. Dès qu'on peut trouver.
There are several cameras in this room. 2 surveillance cameras installed at the corners of the ceiling, and 1 camera on a tripod.
Ouais.
I hacked each to gain access to their recordings. Look at this.
Ah, elle a trouvé quelque chose, Aïba.
She's fidgeting around. Is she doing something under the desk?
That's what it looks like. But we need to confirm something before we confront her. We need to know that she's in fact doing something under...
Without turning around?
Yes.
How would I do that?
Le miroir. Ah, elle utilise son téléphone, c'est bien ce que je pensais. Mais qu'est-ce qu'elle fait? Est-ce qu'elle envoie un message?
Shit.
Est-ce qu'elle envoie un message ou elle... Elle envoie un message à Ota.
Iris, what are you thinking?
Le logo, je pense que c'est à Ota
What
qu'elle a
is
envoyé le
that
message.
thing? Hey, answer me, Iris.
She's definitely hiding something, Date. Sync with her.
Voilà. Là, j'imagine qu'on va aller dans le Somnia d'Iris. Comme ce qui s'est passé avec Mizuki. Alors,
How about it, Date? Think you can do it?
Not a problem. Get it started.
The time limit is 6 minutes.
non, et pour ça, utiliser les
What time
timings.
is up?
I know.
Ça, j'ai bien retenu, les timings et tout ça.
Then, let's begin.
Et on va croiser les doigts pour ne pas avoir de bug cette fois-ci, parce qu'on se souvient la semaine dernière, le Somnium de Mizuki, on a eu un bug à un moment. Ah ouais, mais bon, je vais penser à sauvegarder dès qu'on commence le Somnia d'Iris, comme cela. Si on a un problème, on évite le pire.
What is this place?
Là, d'abord la sauvegarde. Enfin, la double sauvegarde.
It looks depressing. How is this related to Iris?
Unknown, but there must be a connection.
Iris, what are you hiding?
Somnium scan. Activate.
Le premier héros mental, c'est cette télé. Puis la vitre. Et le sol. Et les portes. Enfin, je sais pas combien de verrous mentales. Une salle mystérieuse, des vidéos et un appareil étrange. Découvrez la vérité.
A CRT TV.
Je me demande quand même ce que ça veut dire cette tête de mort. Enfin, je préfère pas savoir.
What is this video?
It is difficult to believe, but these are the faces of the victims of the original Cyclops killer.
What? What is going on here? Iris, what are you hiding?
We should continue. There are more objects to inspect now.
Ah, il semble qu'il y ait deux routes en fait pour chaque somnium. Timing négatif. Vous avez récupéré une timing qui a un effet négatif. Les timings négatifs multiplient le temps et vous forcent à les utiliser. Si vous en récupérez une, soyez prudent. Ah ouais, j'en ai deux en plus.
A torso in the reflection.
A torso? Not you?
Is there any meaning to this?
Can't say. But what is going on?
A torso with a head.
If it has a head, is it still called a torso?
What would you call it?
Ah non, j'avais pas vu, il a une corde.
Even my consciousness is being affected.
While I was unconscious, the room changed.
I'm tired of this. We have no choice but to investigate.
Un peu plus 4 minutes.
A drug bottle that holds... There is no label. I cannot determine what is inside.
It's probably dangerous.
I agree. We should not touch it if we do not know what it is. Even in Somnium, some things should not be done. An operating table.
That's what je voulais faire.
It appears to be in use despite
They did surgery here?
surgery or worse.
3 minutes, Dante.
It's an operating.
Là, j'ai plus beaucoup de temps, faut mieux que je revienne en arrière.
4 minutes.
An opera. Who do you intend I operate on?
Can you just pretend to do it?
Pretend to do it? Nothing's happening.
Damn.
Perhaps you should abandon.
Oh, tant pis. Il me reste encore 2 points.
4 minutes.
A full box. Torso.
A torso?
Is there any?
Can't say.
A full. A drug bottle. Do not pressure me, Date.
Pressure?
Into drinking alcohol.
Is it alcohol?
Well,
This is for an investigation. I'm ordering you.
you are exploiting your position of power. I will set up a labor union.
Bon, là, je commence un peu à paniquer
AI
avec le
labor
Somnium.
union? Sounds dystopian.
Et alors, bonjour la
I
dystopie.
won't drink it.
Fine.
Ah non, ça change rien.
A drug bottle.
Avant ça, j'aurais pu utiliser un timing.
A syrupy smell, like...
Syrup? You think they were baking a cake or something?
If it isn't syrup, it's nitroglycerin.
Why is that here?
Nitroglycerin reacts violently upon light impact. It needs to be mixed to lower its sensitivity.
Mixed with what?
Acetone.
Acetone?
It is best that we do not disturb this for...
Right.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date.
2 minutes.
Hurry.
Operate.
How does it feel?
Awful. Am I going to be killed? I'm restless.
Do you think they'll modify you into a
That's not what I'm talking about.
Ah merde, j'ai pas fait attention au temps.
Date,
Damn!
On va reprendre depuis le début. Là, c'est mon premier game over avec dans un Somnium.
A CRT.
Ouais.
A full... A torso?
If it has a head,
What would you...
Je vais revenir. Une balle sera mort.
4 minutes.
An old... That video showed the face of a victim of the original Cyclops killer. It appeared to be the second victim.
what is going on? Iris has something to do with the first Cyclops case?
On
Unknown.
peut se poser la
I do
question,
not
mais
have enough
faudrait
information.
qu'on continue à trouver.
Guess that means we have to investigate more.
Indeed. The oil drum, shelf, and another torso have been added.
Let's go.
En fait, je regardais juste pour les points. Bon, j'en vais 3-4 points de lycée au cas où.
Only a shelf. That shelf sticking out. It seems odd. What happened?
A metal ball must have fallen off the shelf.
Why would anyone put that there?
Moi, je crois savoir.
An
3
iron
minutes, Date.
Non, je peux pas utiliser les téléphone, que je réfléchisse.
You okay?
Non, c'est pas ça.
Yes, I but
Par contre, je
Are
crois
you
que c'est
okay?
Saiba.
This is nothing. Date?
shouldn't have kicked it so hard.
An iron.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
Where should I...
Throw it that way.
Understood. It is unexpectedly light. All right. Yeah!
I feel like that ball hit me in the head.
Ah, il faudrait qu'on me dise c'est quoi le fichier parce que j'ai regardé et j'ai l'impression que je les ai tous mis en fait les fichiers, mais bon, je regarderai, mais il faudrait penser à que je regarde parce que je suis sûre d'avoir tout mis, mais je crois savoir maintenant non le problème.
Now, a TV and an old book have appeared.
I hope this is the last time.
You have 1 minute left.
Non, j'aurais pas le temps.
An old... Only a that shelf sticking out. An iron ball. Where should I...
I hope this is the last time.
Ah, voilà.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
It is a thick book.
Oups, je me suis trompée.
This will be easy. It's more... Oh, it...
Melted down like a...
An old...
Please. Help me. Help me.
This was the third victim of the original Cyclops killer.
Mais il était pas tout seul à ce que je vois.
Why does Iris know that?
There is a possibility that she saw it online or on TV.
Mais à ce que je vois, en fait, le producteur cyclopéen, il semble qu'il avait un complice, si j'en crois cette vidéo, si j'en crois la vidéo du troisième meurtre.
She even reproduced the circumstances of the killing. Would her imagination explain that?
Non.
less than 30 seconds.
A double...
Non, non, j'ai plus beaucoup de temps. Il manque plus qu'un trail.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
An old-fashioned... This was the third victim.
Why does Iris know that?
There is a possibility that she saw it online or on TV.
She even reproduced the circumstances of the killing. Would her imagination explain that?
Date,
voilà.
we have no direct evidence.
Right.
Voilà, ça va prendre à aller trop vite.
You have 1 minute left.
Just a locker. I heard a metallic sound, like...
Is there something inside? Be careful, Emma, just in case.
Ouais, j'hésite pas à m'en servir parce que là j'en ai bien besoin vu la situation parce que là je suis en train... Enfin... D'accord parce que... Avant j'ai oublié de les activer. D'accord, c'est noté. Là, j'ai mieux compris comment ça marchait parce que... Donc d'abord je clique sur les timings et après je les place sur une action.
Date, you've got less than 30 seconds.
Just a locker.
Maintenant le timing sera pas utilisé. Et je peux pas revenir en arrière.
Just a locker.
Bon tant pis, je vais faire le game over.
Iba?
It's all right.
Ah ouais, donc c'est ça qu'il fallait faire. Mais à mon avis, vu que j'ai gaspillé tout le temps, va falloir tout refaire à zéro, mais maintenant je sais comment faire.
That is...
minutes. C'est le personnage qu'on voit sur les débris de verre. Enfin, je sais pas comment dire, mais pour moi, le tueur avait à l'époque avait un complice, mais je sais pas pourquoi le gars sur les débris de verre, on aurait dit daté. Je sais pas pourquoi en fait, mais alors on commence le 3e jour. Mais le gars sur les débris de verre, il ressemblait à daté. C'est peut-être moi qui hallucine, mais j'ai l'impression qu'il lui ressemble.
We saw it too.
The 4 murdered women are without a doubt the victims of the original Cyclops serial killings.
That means...
The murders that occurred 6 years ago are these memory fragments that coalesced in this somnium.
No. That means the person who killed them was...
Non, je vais sauvegarder.
Help me understand this. What I saw during the sink earlier, that was the scene of the original Cyclops serial killings, right?
Yeah.
So the person doing the killing was the original Cyclops killer.
Right.
Did you see him? He was...
I saw your face.
Ah ouais, je suis pas la seule à y avoir pensé.
Cyclops killer was...
It can't be.
Date, you cannot say that for certain. You
En
have
effet.
no memories past 6 years ago.
En effet, mais il lui ressemble et j'ai l'impression que c'est pas pour rien.
So perhaps, Mr. Date, you are the killer. You're missing your left eye, so you steal them from others.
I'm kidding. You can't be the Cyclops killer.
Really?
Of course not.
Après,
Do you think I would hire a serial killer? You interrogated Iris before the sink. What you saw in the Somnium was just a manifestation of the fear you put in her.
ça aussi, mais j'ai l'impression que... On a bien vu le tueur, mais il y avait 2 personnes, enfin il était accompagné. Et je sais pas comment expliquer en fait. À l'époque, le tueur avait sans doute un complice.
You can't dream of something you know nothing about.
That means Iris must know about the killings.
6 years ago, Iris was 12.
Ouais, ça
Did she
aussi.
witness the crime at age 12? And not just one, but all 4?
Ah ouais, ça aussi,
The
mais...
Cyclops killer appeared 6 years ago. I lost my memory 6 years ago. There has to be some kind of connection.
There isn't. It's a coincidence.
Really?
Really.
Faut voir parce que... Là, je commence à avoir des doutes un peu, mais... Je pense pas que Date était le tueur, mais j'ai l'impression qu'il a quelque chose à voir avec l'affaire. L'affaire d'il y a
Didn't I
6 ans.
tell you? The entire case is a state secret. No matter how many times you ask, I won't tell you anything.
Je vais voir s'il y a encore d'autres questions. Pour moi, sinon donc on va en parler un peu plus tard.
In the Somnium earlier, I saw someone else who might be the criminal. Who was he?
I wouldn't know. The Sinker does not always experience the somnium they expect. Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones.
C'est quand même assez complexe les
When
rêves
using
quand
the
on y
sync
pense.
machine for an investigation, we don't always see the memories we expect to see. True, oftentimes a subject will subconsciously want to express their dark secrets and repressed memories. That is why we see them so often in Somnia, and why those Somnia are so useful for criminal investigations.
En soi, oui, parce que les rêves, les souvenirs, ça vient du cerveau, et le cerveau, c'est quand même hyper complexe.
But this is not a guarantee.
Parce que bon, parce que le cerveau, c'est quand même quelque chose d'assez complexe en soi.
We cannot control the content of our dreams, after all.
Ouais, il a pas tort.
Remember what the boss said this morning. The original Cyclops killer has yet to be brought to justice. After the investigation got going, it was taken over by the government and classified. That was the last we heard anything about it. Of course, they paid lip service to the idea that the investigation was ongoing, but in reality, it was dropped completely.
Ouais, ouais, ils ont classé une enquête sur un tueur en série vu qu'il n'y avait rien en fait, ils ont pas eu de piste. Mais après, la question est-ce que c'est le tueur originel ou un copycat, parce que le tueur a peut-être changé ses méthodes, ou c'est un copycat parce qu'il peut avoir plusieurs possibilités.
I don't believe there's any meaningful connection between the original and new Cyclops serial killings, I mean.
Why is that?
The culprit is not the same. I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
How can you be so sure?
Because I can. Don't worry about it. Just trust me.
Par contre, je sais pas pourquoi Peter, il m'inspire pas confiance par moment.
It's like I told
Enfin, je
you
le trouve
before.
pas très net des fois.
Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones. This can be expressed as an equation. Dream D equals memory A plus memory B plus memory C. This, of course, means that Dream D is a fictional event. However, the same cannot necessarily be said about memory A, B, and C. Those happened in reality.
Ah, je crois savoir en fait. Ce qui veut dire, c'est que le rêve de la personne se basera sur des événements basés sur la réalité. Par exemple, ben, le souvenir B sera une partie du rêve, le C et D aussi. Ce seront une partie des événements qui, regroupés, ben, ça donneront naissance au rêve. Donc le souvenir A qui est mais après, voilà, je crois que c'est ça qu'il veut dire.
Fiction is built from combinations of reality.
Voilà.
So what I saw in Somnium earlier.
Yes. I believe Iris actually witnessed those events.
Pewter, you said that memories happened in reality, right? But what about false memories? How do we know if the memory really happened?
Even false memories are built from the pieces of real ones. If you disassemble those pieces, you will find real events.
What about things you see in movies or television?
The events might be fictional, but the experience is not. Our imaginations are limited to what we have seen. We cannot invent something whole cloth. Dante, it looks like Iris is about to wake up.
Got it. Hey Iris, about that dream earlier.
Dream? What dream?
There is no point in asking her, Date. The subject of a sync does not experience somnium in the way that you do. They will not remember it.
And what about the Cyclops killer from 6 years ago?
Cyclops killer? I remember hearing it on the news. But I was just a little girl. I don't remember anything specific.
You don't?
No.
What about the scene of the murder?
I don't know. I've never been there.
But
Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones.
You can't dream of something you know nothing about. Date, could you take Iris home?
huh?
We do not have enough evidence to hold her. Even in Somnium, we couldn't find anything. The law demands that we release her.
You cannot decline, Date.
Ouais, là ils ont pas tort parce qu'on n'a pas beaucoup de preuves, donc on peut pas la laisser en garde à vue. Mais je sais pas pourquoi j'ai un mauvais pressentiment là.
Date, could we make a stop first?
Sure.
Marble. It's a bar in Golden Yokocho.
You know about that place?
Ah.
Yeah, Mr. Okiura took me before.
Why do you
ouais.
want to go there?
There's something I want to talk about.
We can't talk here?
It might take a while.
What do you think?
There's no reason to refuse. Besides, there's a lot I want to ask her too.
Ouais, pas faux.
Alright, sure.
Oh, une petite minute. J'ai AFK, il y a mon petit Bakaneko qui vient de se réveiller encore, donc je vais le faire sortir avant que... un minute, j'ai AFK juste, je reviens vite. Voilà, enfin, c'est vrai qu'on a ça à chaque live, je mets la pause pour sortir mon Bakaneko, enfin mon chat, vous voyez. Mais en même temps, il aime tellement dormir dans ma chambre et qu'il dort beaucoup par mois que je préfère pas le déranger puisqu'il aime bien dormir dans ma chambre. Mais parfois, il y a besoin de sortir.
Tessa!
Oh, Ota!
Ah donc, c'est à lui qu'elle a donné rendez-vous.
No, this is my new one.
Ah, donc un nouveau
You're
téléphone.
thinking of the one I dropped in that puddle. Oh, she left a little while ago.
Ok.
She said something about going to help an acquaintance. She told me to watch the place until she got back.
How well do you know Mama?
Not at all. It's my first time here.
Ah.
I was nihiling with Tessa earlier. She said she was going to Marbles, so I got here just before you did. Look, I was really worried about her. She was about to be charged with a serious crime.
This actually works out nicely. I want to ask you something, Ota.
Ouais, ça tombe bien
It's about a
finalement.
Nile message you sent Iris. You said you wouldn't tell anyone about that thing. That you'd stay quiet no matter what. What were you talking about?
Well,
I'll tell her about the two-witter thing. I swear I'll do it.
geez, fine. Just don't tell anyone else, okay? But before I tell you, who's
Hein?
What?
at the door? Someone's standing outside.
On dirait que j'avais pas tort, que j'avais un mauvais pressentiment. Marble à 2h48 du matin. Quand je me suis réveillée, j'étais étendue sur le sofa.
Where am I?
Ma tête me faisait un mal de chien et mes souvenirs étaient flous. J'ai senti une douleur fulgurante dans mon cou. Je me suis levée en me massant le cou. Quand j'ai regardé le comptoir, j'ai vu un monstre retourner mon regard. Ça m'a pris quelques secondes pour me rendre compte que c'était que Mama.
It looks like you're awake now.
Alors que Mama me parlait, mes souvenirs sont revenus. Je me suis souvenu de tout.
Ota, the boy I asked to watch the bar?
I'd say he's too old to be called a boy, but yeah.
Ouais.
He was already gone when I came back. All I saw was you getting your beauty sleep on the floor.
Damn it, Ota. What are you thinking?
It appears that he took off with Iris.
What were you doing during all this?
My power was shut down due to the stun gun. I
Enfin,
rebooted in
au
safe
moins,
mode and are now operational.
j'ai dit ouf surtout parce que moi, Aiba est de nouveau opérationnel.
It'll be 3 o'clock soon. In the morning, of course.
Ah.
I tried. You wouldn't budge. I thought you were passed out drunk, so I left you like that.
But I didn't have a glass in front of me, right?
Un coup de taser pareil.
So you weren't drunk?
Didn't have a single drop.
Oh, I thought you were drinking straight out of the bottle. Just like the old days.
Ah, un appel.
Date, the boss is called.
Oh, how am I gonna report this one?
Date, listen. Stay calm, but this
Oh.
is an emergency. Just now, the killer...
Quoi?
Just watch the video.
Il a fait une nouvelle
I sent
victime?
the address to Iba.
Iris. No, that's...
The criminal is streaming this live.
Oh.
Iba, the source.
Identified. The Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse, Koto District.
Okiyo.
Date, focus. We need to get to the site, now.
Ah, ça devient inquiétant, situation.
What's our ETA?
Our destination is far from here. 20 minutes is the fastest.
Please, please let me make it in time. That sick bastard!
Tessa! Hold on! I'll save you!
Ota!
Stay away from Tessa! Ah!
No, it can't be. No. Stop! No!
Putain, c'est vraiment glauque, quoi. Hein, comment ça a coupé? Oh. Ah, je le vois. QG de la police, lundi à 10h02.
There you are. Finally. I was... It's rare to see you down like this, but it's understandable. You blame yourself for this, don't you? Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble, and about letting Ota get the upper hand on you. Am I right? Shall I tell you what Investigation HQ thinks? Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide. Ota had a selfish love for Iris. He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too.
Minute, ils vont pas l'accuser, quoi. Je veux bien qu'Ota était cringe, mais on va pas, mais il mérite pas de se faire accuser, quoi.
But Iris refused Ota. So Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife. Killed her, then killed himself.
That's ridiculous. Ota would never kill Iris.
C'est ce que je dis.
And how do you explain the other two murders?
En effet, là il a pas tort, parce que Iris est morte comme...
Iris's left eye was hollowed out.
Elle est morte comme les parents de Mizuki.
Just like Renju and Shoko. Those three murders were definitely executed by the same person. The new Cyclops killer. There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit. Too many contradictions, like killing Iris.
Such as? Maybe he was thinking, the reason Iris and I can't be together is because her agents making the president rent.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota showed himself on the stream. If he was gonna kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that? The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit. Ota and the polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person. That behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was going to commit suicide anyway.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first. After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
So he lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice-cutting machine himself? I don't buy it. The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity. But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
Shoko was married to Renju. Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing her.
That's a stretch.
Parce que...
They've been divorced for years.
Et il savait même pas que c'était la mère de Mizuki.
Ota knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko to get to Renju.
There are some additional discrepancies. I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
Are you sure?
I am.
Oh, I know that.
Well?
Ota could have stabbed himself. Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but when it didn't work, he went for the ice-cutting machine.
Then, shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
Maybe he threw it in the ocean.
Boss, come on. Ota goes out to the water, stabs himself in the gut, throws the knife over the side, then...
Well, I wasn't being serious.
Ah.
I didn't think Ota was the culprit from the beginning. I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
C'est bien ce que je pensais, parce que bon...
Really?
Yes, really.
Parce que bon, malheureusement, dans un sens, Ils peuvent être prêts à tout pour désigner un faux coupable.
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself. Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota knew Iris was kidnapped, so he rushed onto the scene. That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood at the culprit's mercy. The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice-cutting machine. And then...
Then, who is the culprit?
I wish I knew.
We're up to 4 victims, but Ota was a special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Ah, ça aussi.
Right. And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
So let's focus on the 3 other victims. Shoko, Renju, and Iris. What connects these 3?
Connections.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit. That's the theory of investigation, right?
Ouais. Bon, je vais sauvegarder.
You think the new Cyclops killer is related to them somehow?
Maybe, maybe not. That is a good starting point.
En fait, voyons voir. Il y a 2. En fait, je pense qu'il y a au moins 2. Je sais pas comment expliquer. Ok, parce que... En fait, moi, je sais pas, en fait. Non. Réfléchissons. Non, il connaissait Mizuki vu que Renju et Shoko c'était ses parents. Iris les connaissait depuis les mini-skates. La mère d'Iris, on sait qu'elle connaissait Renju, vu qu'ils étaient ensemble au lycée. Après, la mère d'Hotel connaissait juste Iris. Je crois pas qu'elle connaissait Renju et Shoko. Tandis que Kumakura, lui, on sait qu'il connaissait Shoko, la mère de Mizuki. Mais après, pour Renju, je m'en souviens plus en fait. Faudrait que je relise. Je sais pas.
Hitomi and Renju are definitely linked. They were high school classmates. And she did say that she met Shoko twice. But I can't imagine she would kill Iris in such a gruesome way.
C'est la contradiction, vu qu'elle pourrait pas tuer sa
No
propre
matter
fille.
what the circumstances were, it seems impossible to me. Renju and Shoko were connected to the Kumakuras, but there's no connection to Iris. Renju, Shoko, and So. There is a connection between Renju and Shoko through the Kumakuras, but again, I can't see. I know Renju and Shoko, and I'm connected to Iris, but I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them. No, now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing. But if I start doubting myself now...
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is zero possibility you are the new Cyclops killer. I have been working with you for years.
Mais après, j'arrête pas de penser que les victimes du tueur, c'est plus peut-être aussi que ça peut aussi viser Date en fait.
I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
Enfin, je sais pas, en fait, s'en prendre aux gens qu'il connaissait, ça aussi ça peut se tenir. Mais j'ai du mal.
Mayumi had motive for killing Iris and Renju. Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemniscate either. And since Renju is the president... Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko. I can't imagine why Mayumi would kill her, and above all else, she would never harm her only son.
Ça aussi, il reste plus que Mizuki alors.
Mizuki has the strongest connections with all 3 victims. Shoko and Renju were her parents, and she was close friends with Iris. She was good friends with Ota too, but that's why I could never believe Mizuki would kill all 4 of them. Thinking of her as a suspect is ridiculous.
C'est impossible de trouver
I
un
thought it over, boss. Of the people I know, I can't peg any of them as the murderer.
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit. To get justice for the victims.
You're right. Got it, boss.
Heureusement qu'elle est là, boss. Là, on va revenir. J'aimerais bien enquêter sur là où il y a lieu le dernier meurtre, celui d'Iris et Ota. Je rentrais dans l'entrepôt réfrigéré. L'air conditionné ne fonctionnait pas, mais il faisait quand même froid. La température n'avait pas beaucoup augmenté. L'air froid me mordait, mais le milieu de mon corps était brûlant.
I checked this place point by point.
Iris's estimated time of death, and the video was not a recording. It was a live stream.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20.
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered.
Right here.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's...
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
And the cause of death.
Right. About that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that. I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
But why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown. This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
Une minute. Ça me rappelle le Somnium d'Iris. Quand, par exemple, les meubles, enfin, la grue de plafond,
There are only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream. All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them.
il est vraiment doué ce tueur.
I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse. Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it. I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious. Date, we should get moving. Officers from the local jurisdiction are... We will not find anything of importance.
Yeah, you're...
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find...
All right.
No, nothing so far.
Ah.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice. So, if I can help you, even a little...
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
Qu'est-ce qu'il veut?
All right, let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes. Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer. Although, it's more accurate to say killers.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had
Voilà,
an
c'est ce que
accomplice.
j'avais dit. Il avait un complice.
One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras. They each had a role to play. The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball. That I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time.
Ouais,
Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value.
ouais, et comme ils ont classé l'affaire, ça a
I
pas
am
aidé.
unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you. 18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and got the reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes. Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them. He needed to have them. Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. Then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession.
Ouais, je savais à quoi m'attendre. Je savais à quoi m'attendre dans ce jeu, mais je m'attendais pas à ce que par moment ça aille aussi loin niveau gore. Mais bon, avec ce que j'ai vu, mais bon, pour avoir fait le premier Zero Escape, j'étais déjà préparé, mais je m'attendais pas à ce que ce soit aussi violent. Mais bon, au moins, c'est pas du gore gratuit, quoi. J'ai envie de dire peut-être juste la scène avec Iris, mais dans tous les cas, je m'attendais tellement pas à autant de violence. Mais bon. Ah ça, je m'en doutais vu le Peggy, t'inquiète. Je savais que c'était un Peggy 18. Et je suis prête à tout quand je vois des jeux de ce genre, mais bon... Et puis bon, ce que je veux dire, c'est que je savais à quoi m'attendre. Je savais le Peggy, je savais c'était quoi, je savais avec le début à quoi m'attendre. Mais disons que je m'attendais pas à ce que ça aille aussi loin. Bon après, je rassure, ça va pas m'empêcher d'arrêter le jeu. Enfin, je vais le continuer, vous inquiétez pas. Parce que j'ai quand même envie de savoir et de vous partager en même temps ce que je ressens. Parce que là, cet épisode va quand même... Enfin là aujourd'hui, je suis quand même... Enfin vous voyez quoi. Mais bon, je veux quand même savoir... Mais bon, je suis quand même prête à tout, vous inquiétez pas. Moi je voulais faire ce jeu, je compte le faire. Et c'est pas... c'est pas certaines choses qui me mettent mal à l'aise qui vont m'en empêcher.
The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established.
Ah ouais, ça j'ai vu pour le troisième Zero Escape, je sais qu'il est Peggy 18. Mais en tout cas, merci déjà de me prévenir à l'avance, comme cela... Mince, je vais remettre le chat. Bah comme cela, au moins, je me prépare psychologiquement. Parce qu'avec ce qui s'est passé, mais ce qui vient de se passer à l'instant, enfin, avec la scène des découvertes, enfin, avec les morts d'Iris et Ota, je me préparerai psychologiquement pour le prochain épisode.
This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings. At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
Qui était ce meurtrier psychopathe?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust.
Ça va, vous inquiétez pas.
It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone.
Ah, je vois.
It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress.
Par contre, je crois que à partir de maintenant, je crois que je mettrai quand même je préviendrai quand même que c'est public averti parce que bon, je tiens pas à traumatiser parce que je sais pas parmi mes viewers s'il y en a qui sont trop sensibles, mais je crois qu'après ce live, je vais modifier pour dire enfin pour mettre en garde quand même que voilà quoi, Peggy 18.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do.
Ouais, après ce live, je préviendrai que je mettrai un avertissement pour dire que je penserai à prévenir que le jeu est pas Peggy 18 pour rien.
However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means. Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins.
Ah, minute, je vois que j'ai laissé la page que j'utilise pour OBS pour le titre du live. Après la description Twitter, je crois que je vais changer pour
What was it?
pour mettre un avertissement.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain. The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine. Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure.
Ah ouais.
He was 12 when he took his first life. That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
Mais je vais juste modifier. Voilà, j'ai modifié le titre. Ça devrait être bon. Mais je préfère mieux mettre, mais maintenant je mettrai à chaque fois un trigger pour prévenir que le jeu est pas Peggy 18 pour rien. Je veux dire si ça s'affichera, mais je préfère mieux.
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice.
There were two Cyclops killers.
And one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. That means one remains. Who is he?
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
Minute. Le
What's his
détenu.
name?
C'est pas le détenu qui voulait prévenir.
In prison, he doesn't have a name. He is simply called number
Voilà, c'est ce que j'ai
89.
dit. C'est bien celui qui avait envoyé.
I know who killed Shogunadami.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars. Neither of them had the opportunity.
Non, je crois que je vais faire plusieurs sauvegardes là. Mais je m'arrête là pour aujourd'hui parce que là j'ai trop d'émotions pour continuer. Mais j'avoue quand même que c'est assez surprenant. Mais pour ceux qui se demandent, vous inquiétez pas, je vais quand même continuer le jeu. Et la suite, ben... ce sera pour jeudi en tout cas. Ça je peux vous le dire. Parce que bon là, j'ai trop des... Oups, non c'est pas ça. J'ai un petit peu trop d'émotions pour vraiment continuer, donc je m'arrête là. Mais en tout cas, ça devient de plus en plus intéressant et de plus en plus glauque aussi. Mais en tout cas, ça devient de plus en plus intéressant, même si, comme je l'ai dit, ça devient glauque. Mais la suite, ce sera jeudi. Et maintenant, je mettrai un trigger maintenant pour chaque live hype, parce que vu ce qu'il y a eu dans cet épisode, je préfère mieux mettre public averti, parce que je suppose j'ai peut-être des viewers qui sont hyper sensibles à ce genre de trucs, donc je préfère au moins les mettre en garde. Mais en tout cas, oui, Fobo, ce sera bien 21 h. Mais en tout cas, ça devient de plus en plus intéressant, de plus en plus glauque. Mais je veux quand même savoir la suite. Allez, je m'arrête là. Et rendez-vous jeudi. Et merci à ceux qui viennent, ceux qui me soutiennent. Aussi ceux qui sont venus, bien évidemment. Je m'arrête là pour ce soir. Et on se retrouve jeudi pour la suite. A plus tout le monde!